Shares of big drug companies soaring ahead of a potential settlement in the first federal trial over opioid crisis. Reports say that the three companies have offered $18 billion. They paid over 18 years to settle 2,000 lawsuits. This is just the latest in a string of settlements from Big Pharma. But will they actually help curb the crisis itself? Joining me now to discuss, Dr. Jen Caudle. You know, Dr. Caudle, I added up all the numbers, 18 billion, 5 billion, 15 billion. I mean, it's big money. We're approaching 40, 50 billion just from distributors and a handful of drug makers alone. But what does that money go to? I mean, you're in the front lines. You see this more than anyone else. Could that actually help curb this crisis?
Well, I certainly hope so, and I think we all do. I mean, look, Charles, it's a new day, okay? And as a family doctor, I'm really happy to see that the tides are changing, and the hope is that this will be the start to families and communities starting to heal. Where is this money going to go to, you say? Well, it's, time will tell, but what I certainly hope for is I hope that we have more research regarding substance use disorder. I hope we have more treatment programs. I hope we have more education for patients and community members. We need more resources for law enforcement and public safety resources, and we need education for doctors, among so many other things. So, no, we need resources, and as far as I'm concerned, the more the better. The idea is it's time to start healing and to turn this around.
And to that point, you just talked about education for doctors. As over the last 2 years, as this crisis really has mushroomed and come into the public consciousness, I've interviewed several aspects of the medical community, and doctors often won't take a lot of responsibility. Pharmacists won't take a lot of responsibility. While these drug makers are paying out these payments, they're reluctant to take responsibility. The industry itself, has the industry itself looked in the mirror and understanding their role in this and prepared to make the real changes?
Well, we have to be, and I'll be honest with you, if others aren't willing to take responsibility, I will say that we all need to take a role and responsibility in this. We know that substance use disorder and the opioid epidemic is multifactorial. It's not just one thing that's caused this, right? It's socioeconomic, it's pharmaceuticals, it's doctors, it's a whole bunch of things. But the idea, though, is that there are a whole bunch of factors that play a role in it. Now, according to the lawsuits, pharmaceutical companies and manufacturers have allegedly been involved in maybe misleading some of the risks about these medications to physicians and other people. But on the other side, I'm a doctor who actually trains other doctors how to prescribe opioids effectively under programs by the FDA and CDC. And I'm speaking very frankly, as doctors, we have to take responsibility and learn how to prescribe these medications. But the point is, Charles, the responsibility lies in a lot of different places, and we all need to be looking in the mirror.
Most of the data we get is always backdated. So it's 2 years ago, at best a year ago. As someone who sees this again on the front lines, are we seeing any improvements now? Can we report that even though it's not official, maybe things are already beginning to change?
Yes, and I think that's a great question, because I think it's really important not just to talk about what's gone wrong, but to talk about maybe where we're going. We know that opioid-related deaths have started to decrease. They're starting to stall. If I didn't mention it before, between 1999 and 2017, there were 218,000 prescription-related opioid deaths. That's about 130 Americans per day die of opioids. But we know these numbers in some cases and in some ways are improving. Now, we do have other problems like fentanyl and other things that we're seeing on the street. But this is the thing. Look, right now, we're at a different place than we were 10 years ago, I'll tell you that. And even when I was a med student, when I saw opioids being written almost like they were like candy in a way, and we had a whole different mindset about pain. Again, not to place blame, but to say, I think we're all changing. We have to change. This is about the only way we're going to keep people safe. And as a physician who believes very, very strongly in this, I always say our job is first do no harm, but I think as a nation, we have to think that way too, right? Because this is our people.
Absolutely. And again, the economic costs have been estimated in the hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, and that's not the emotional and toll on communities. Dr. Caudle, thank you very much. Always appreciate it.
Thank you.